Hello and welcome to round 8 of the IRL Formula 2 Championship here live from Monza. I'm your commentator H Racing Green once again, and we have a clear weather session for you to start things off. Slightly smaller grid than usual, just 11 cars, but that does not mean we will be strapped for racing. I'm sure Monza always provides a good race here on the Formula 1 games, and let's hope that tradition is carried on. Out on track first is one of the Ferraris, that is Jamie Met, out on the super softs right away, not messing around, no fudge for you. Also out Tactics and Void's Cod, leaving the pits as well. We come to Monza following the Belgian Grand Prix last week, which saw a full wet race, and there's been talk of more rain at this round as well. We'll have to wait and see if that is true. But looking now, we aren't seeing any signs of rain in this qualifying session. It is clear weather conditions. Two Ferraris are out on track then, both on the super soft tyres. They're going to go quick early. Core Tactics also on the supers. No Fudge is running super softs as well, it would seem. Yet there they are. Craig on supers. Nicky heads out on supers. Clyde also. I think everyone is out. No, there we are. Sir Spud on the soft tyres. So all but one of the current drivers out on circuit is using the, oh dearie me, is using the softest compound, the super soft tyre. We watched Jamie Met start his lap. He starts his lap off the circuit, running wide at the exit of Parabolica. Not going to help his straight line speed down this first straight. He brakes for the first corner. It's that first apex and the second, bit of a slide on the rear end there. Now as he heads towards the Curva Grande, some might say this is similar to Maggots and Beckett. It's not at all. Into the second chicane, he does that very nicely, does not cut or lose any traction through the first Lesmo. And now the second runs a little bit offline on the exit, that first part, but gets the second part just about right. Another bit of oversteer. He's going to head along the back straight underneath the old banked circuit into the Ascari. Spot his braking point over the crest, turn in, don't cut. Doesn't carry the maximum amount of speed and misses the apex on exits. That is going to hurt his time, it's going to hurt his run all the way down this back straight into the right-hander at Parabolic. I want to get on the power nice early, gets on the power extremely early, runs a little bit wide. He's going to come across the line with the first lap time of the session. It's a 22.9, set provisional pole, the only car with the time. This is of course Ferrari's home Grand Prix. That's wrong, there we go. This is of course Ferrari's home Grand Prix, so these two will want to impress Void's Card, so it's a faster time. He does a 22.3. Let's see what championship leader Notorious LIP can do. He goes fastest with a 21.7, so the times are tumbling straight away. Let's have that. We'll enable all of that. There we go. So only Surspan and no Fudge out on the soft tyre. Anyone on a flying lap? I think we're going to go with Craig. He comes along the back straight. He's got barely any fuel in the car, so if he's coming to the end of a lap, no, this is a flying lap. End of a run for him, but not end of a lap. Yep, he's going to cross the line. What is he going to do? It is a 21.698 to go provisional pole, fastest of the 8 cars who have set a time. Let's see, Nicky also on a lap in the Renault. He's going to exit Parabolica. What can he do? He crosses the line to go 7th fastest with a 22.7. So Jamie Met's opening gambit, the 22.9, not proving to be good enough just yet. Over a second off his teammates, so he is going to want to be improving that to try and move some way up the field. Let's see, has anyone gone for a second lap. Doesn't look like it. No, I think everyone is going to come in. Everyone is doing one lap runs, possibly the soft tyre runners. Like Sir Spud doing a second lap. Whoa, nearly contact for the Salvers as they get all tangled up, heading for the very tricky pit entry. You come from a very high speed to a very low speed. And you end up almost missing the pit entry entirely if you're not careful. So, most of the cars in the pits now. Dan Gibbo, I'm going to guess, is going to come around and pit. Yeah, there he is. He backs off and comes into the pits. So the first round of runs is over then. 6 minutes left in the session, so half to go. And we have Craig on provisional pole at the moment from Notorious LIP, the championship leader. Currently with a 5-point lead over Delange, who is not here this evening, so he is not going to be making up any time. It's then Craig in 4th with 30 points, so he's way off the lead at the moment. Then then Mike in 5th, he is joint. Tsunomi on Kentucky in 6th, Jamie Met is 7th, and the Milan Pop and Voids Cod, the nearest active challengers, they're in 9th and 10th, 18 points apiece. Out goes, no in comes a McLaren. Someone leaving. Everyone but Nicky is currently in. Nicky actually did another lap and did a 22.3, so he's gone for the 2-lap strategy on the Supers. That's interesting. It's pretty much a guaranteed one-stop here in the dry. It's a super soft medium stint the game suggests. I think a super soft soft could be possible, just depends how good your tyre wear is. If the race turns out to be wet, then of course all those strategy choices go out the window entirely. If the weather in this quality session is going to go by, we will be having a dry race. Bright Italian sunshine at the moment. As Nicky comes around and comes into the pits, the only car still out there is Sir Spud. He set a faster lap time, but he has not improved his position. He's up to 23.2. 2 cars without times, the second Force India, No Fudge For You, and Mike, 10th and 11th, with no times set. So Spud on a lap, he's not actually got the fuel indicator up, so he could actually still be setting a flying lap. He's only a 10th and a half down, so we think he'll be coming in. He does indeed come in. There we go then. So everyone is now in the pits. Oh, Mike has just head out. The first Mercedes, the second. Sorry, I keep getting mixed up. The second Mercedes is out on track. Then he will be looking to set his only times in the session, not going up for an early run, instead waiting for the final part. He's got the track pretty much to himself, only 2 cars out at the moment, and they are both behind him. Yeah, everyone's starting to go out now, so 1 single lap runs for everyone then with 3.5 minutes to go. Not really enough time to set 2 laps on that, but maybe they will. Oh no, they could do actually, but whether or not they put enough fuel on board for that. Let's all ride with Mike on his lap, I think. Actually, Core Tactics is out. Is he on a flying lap? He is not, I don't think. Well, it does say actually there's no out-up thing. Sir Spud has gone for the mediums. Could be qualifying on the possibly qualifying on the mediums. Actually, we are going to run with Core Tactics. It seems like he's on a lap here. Let's see, through the first les mode, quick through there. Quickish through there, a little bit off the apex, but not too bad. Nice through the second, loses the rear ends, used to be a common thing at the exit of the second Lesmo, as people losing the rear end a little bit. The BWA Clyde in the Renault jumps out of the way. Faster through the first part of the Scari and hits the apex in the second and third parts as well, so that's been a nice run through there. What can the Sauber driver do? He is currently 17th in the championship, only 7 points to his name, so he's really going to want to be improving in these last few rounds. He heads for the line, goes to the shortest route possible. It's a 21.5 to go fastest of anyone. And that will do nicely for him. Clyde retires from the session. It's a yellow flag. He has crashed at the exit of Parabolica. Must have touched the green on the outside and has lost the rear end. Hit that inside wall. He is out of qualifying. Yet again, we have people crashing out in quali. Let's try and avoid Card then, as he comes through. Ascari doesn't change gear before exiting, decides to hold it in fifth. Really didn't get the greatest acceleration because of that. Here he comes through a lot of steering lock through that right-hander. Mike goes 7th fastest with a 22.4. Here comes Void's Card. He comes across the line, 21.9. Then for 4th place for him. Is he going to go for another lap? It looks like he is. He's using a lot of steering lock. He's got a lot of understeer on that car, it would seem. With just 35 seconds left in the session. Who else is on the lap? Let's see. Dan Gibbo is not. Oh, he's gone faster, but is 5th. We've got Nicky also on a lap. Let's see what he can do. Also keeping an eye on Notorious LIP and Craig. We want to see what times they can do, the championship protagonists. Yellow in sector 2. Why is that then? Someone's gone off. No retirements on. Yes. Is that Mike? No. No retirements on the screen. Clearly just an off for someone. This is Nicky. We ride with through Ascari. Not quite as fast as the Saubers through there, just from just on a visual point of view. It didn't look as fast. Not quite. Anyway, into Parabolica. Not quite carrying as much mid-corner speed as the Saubers were. Along does not take the shortest route to the line, crosses the line. We're not going to get to watch any other laps. He does a 22.1 to go 5th fastest. Jamie Met was 5th. He's been pushed down to 6th, I think. The Void's Cod still in 4th. Notorious LIP and Craig in 2nd and 3rd. No improvements from them yet. We'll be waiting for them to cross the line. Cortex crosses the line, no improvement from Craig, retires from the session at 21.6 for him. Notorious LIP retires from the session at 21.7, so starting 2nd and 3rd for those guys. Looks like it's pole for the Sauber driver unless Void's Car can pull something out somewhere. But I don't think he's on a lap currently. Let's take a quick look at the race director, because that can sometimes tell us. Void's Card, he is on a lap, but no, it's a slow one. He had a fast first sector, but it's 55.5 in the third, so that's in the second, sorry. So he is now in the pits. That is end of proceedings for him, and there you have it. We've got a short while the counter goes down. Not for feel with that Renault. Not even got the light on, and the AI is still pushing. It's interesting. So Spud there, his mediums actually didn't work out. He's qualifies 11th on his medium tyres. I don't think he's actually improved from his soft tyre run, but I might be wrong. The only car on the softs there is No Fudge For You. Qualifies 8th fastest on the soft, so a good effort from him. He'll be looking to maximise that, because there's been talk among the drivers that tyre wear here is really hurting them. Some drivers having to go for a 2-stop strategy possibly, so No Fudge For You could have heard this, taken this into account, and has decided that he's going to sacrifice a little bit of ultimate pace to actually guarantee himself a 1-stop and try and make up some positions that way. However, it is not the hardest place in the world to pass. Lots of, obviously, long straights, the slipstream, heavy braking zones mean that there's a possibility actually the 2-stop could end up being faster thanks to the improved ultimate pace of the fresh tyres. Go, qualifying ticks down then. So, Core Tactics takes pole position with a 21.5 for Sauber. It's Craig from McLaren in second, a 21.6 for him. Notorious LIP Championship leader is third. Void's Cod in fourth. It's Nicky in the Renault in fifth, a good showing from him. We've got Jamie Met in sixth in the second Ferrari, again struggling to match his teammate. It's Dan Gibbo and No Fudge for You for Force India, seventh and eighth. It's Mike and Clyde in ninth and tenth, and Sir Spud rounds out the field in 11th on the medium tyre. We did improve on the mediums there, because that came up as a medium tyre graphic. Oh, we forgot to do this at the start. We're trying to get a copyright strike. Here we are. Then it's a hazy condition race. As you can see, it's not blue sky in its entirety, but we don't look like we're going to get any rain here. We've got 10 seconds until the end of preparation time, and then we're going to be having a formation lap to start proceedings off. There is the formation lap, and away Tactics leads Mike. Let's take a look at the tyres. As drivers are starting on then. Let's go. Gap to leader. We want position. We want tyres. There we are. So Sir Spud has opted for the soft tyre to begin with. No Fudge for You obviously on his qualifying tyre. Everyone else on the supers. Core Tactics going pretty quick on that outlap so far. Excuse me. Wait for the drivers to come around. Do that, and Dan Gibbo have clearly made contact. They've been disqualified from the session. That's only from the formation lap. They will just start with cold tyres on the grid. Interesting warm-up strategy this from Tactics. The sort of slow and then fast structure, sort of accelerating really hard and then braking like that, nearly causing the McLaren to run into the back of him, and the Ferrari for that matter. So onto the grid they come then. Lining up, and we are going to build to the 5 red lights. Here they come. 5 lights. And we're away for the Italian Grand Prix. A great start for Core Tactics, not so great for Craig. He's going to be coming under pressure from the Ferrari and the Sauber into turn 1. That is the Sauber up the inside. There's all sorts of contact. Notorious LIP goes around the outside. We don't want to watch a Sauber drive into the distance. Notorious LIP into second. It's Void's Cod into third. Craig got sandwiched between the two there, and has lost out down to 4th position. We've got Nicky in 5th. He ran off track at someone. It's 3 abreast there. Dan Gibbo is in 6th. We've got No Fudge for You, Jamie Met and Mike. Then it's Clyde in 10th, and Sir Spud remains 11th. But that was quite the hectic turn 1, a very, very tight Rettifilio chicane. proving as effective as ever. Beautiful bit of track design that is. As they head around to go through Ascari for the first time in this race. They're going to head back to the front of the field. We've got Tactics 1.1 seconds ahead of LIP, but he is coming under pressure from Void's Cod, just 0.3 of a second down. The Saubers once again looking menacing at this circuit. The Saubers, ever since forming this partnership after Silverstone, have been an incredibly strong team, a force to be reckoned with. Jamie Met loses the position to Mike at the Parabolica. Jamie Met is falling down the field. What has gone on there? He has been passed by Surspad and by Clyde. Surspad now attacking that Renault for 9th place. As they head into the first chicane for the second time, he does not choose to pass him, probably waiting for DRS. As we head back to the front, we have got Tactics. He's pulled away a little bit from Notorious LIP in this early stage. Now the gap up to 1.3 seconds. LIP and Voids separating a touch in this middle sector. Obviously the dirty air working its magic and causing that following Sauber to understeer all over the shop. Craig is actually... Oh, as there goes a Force India into the gravel. It's Dan Gibbo. If I could just catch up to him. He's spun and he's retired. He's out of the race. I mean, I'm not sure why. He appears to still have an entire front wing. I mean, the AI is doing something special. He ran wide at the exit of the second Lesmo, and that was it. Yes, he's broken his front wing there, but he ran wide at the exit of the second Lesmo into the gravel, spun, nearly hit his teammate No Fudge, and has hit the wall and retired from the race. That's unfortunate for him. As Core Tactics sets the fastest lap of the race, Notorious LIP is out of this race. What has happened? He's lost it at the exit of Parabolica, just like Clyde did in qualifying, but instead he's hit the outside wall. That is must have been a huge snap to hit that outside wall. That angle is quite incredible. So that means that the championship leader is not going to get to extend his gap over the absent Delange, and that is big news for him. He probably would have wanted to extend that, but he has not been allowed the opportunity, but only through his own mistakes. That promotes Void's Cod into second position. Now 2 seconds behind his teammate, and Sauber pick up that 1-2, inherit that 1-2 position. Remains to be seen if they'll manage to actually complete the 1-2. But that is huge for them. Craig now is dropping positions. He has lost an end plate on his front wing. Not sure what's gone on there. Must have been at the exit of the second Lesmo. Lost the rear end, just like many other people have been doing. Hit that outside wall, or inside wall, sorry. And he is now falling down the field. So once again, Craig has shown good pace in qualifying. He's had a lot of potential, but not able to show it in the race. He's had a few decent comeback drives, but what he really needs is a race where he can fight from the front and pick up a really solid points haul. He's going to come into the pits for a fresh set of tyres and a new wing. He will still pick up some points. Obviously, we've only got 9 runners in this race anyway, so as long as he finishes, he will get some points. But with the 2 championship leaders not finishing, he could have used a solid points finish to really close that gap down. But alas, no. Back at the front, Core Tactics leads by 2 seconds. It's Nicky in third. And No Fudge for You is now up to 4th on those soft tyres. He's looking really strong. If you can keep the pace up on the soft tyres and just do a 1 stop onto the mediums while the others do 2 stops, he could definitely be in with a shout of a top spot in this race. Craig has gone onto the medium tyres, obviously looking to go a long way into the race. Fastest lap from Core Tactics at a 24.8. Take a look. Let's do gaps between the drivers. Let's there we go, interval. So at the moment the closest cars are Sir Spud and Clyde and Mike. Sorry, half a second difference between them. Let's follow them. Let's see as the Renault is challenging the Mercedes for 5th position at the moment. What can he do? It's going to be tricky to do anything in this middle sector. On the back straight, he's got DRS, he is within a second, but it's he won't really be able to make any moves until the main straight, I don't believe. Too much dirty air in that middle sector for sure. And then not enough of a run along this back straight either. Here he comes, and he's actually dropped just outside a second, so Mike appears to have a little bit better pace at the moment. I know he comes back inside actually as he comes onto the start-finish straight. He will be awarded, he will not be awarded DRS. He's actually outside a second as they cross the detection point in the entry to Parabolica. So Clyde is going to have to wait another lap to even get a chance at passing this Mercedes. We look further up the field, actually, Nicky is closing in on Void's Cod, who's falling back from, that's a PS3 controller, who is falling back from Tactics. Oh yes, the lovely helicopter shot there. You can see the Sauber ahead of him. He is hunting him down. I think actually Voids may have made a mistake because he's now back up to 2.7 seconds and has pulled away a little bit from Nicky in that section, so possibly a mistake at the first corner from Void's Cod. Actually, he's using the grass on entry to Ascari, which is quite an F1 2015 thing to do. Runs over the grass, but he has had a horrible exit out of Ascari. He must have run wide in that middle section because he has just dropped half a second. And that is going to give a really nice tow and a good DRS chance at passing for Nicky as he closes another 0.2 in that Parabolica corner. He's going to open DRS. We're going to follow them from the helicopter. Oh, we cut back to the ground shot. But here he comes in the slipstream with that rear wing open. He's going to think better of the move up the inside. Interesting that he does not go for that. He's going to wait another lap. But all the while he does this, he's going to lose a little bit of time to the car in front and indeed the car behind. No fudge for you, driving very well, only 2.5 seconds down despite being on the slower tyre, and he is just going to get faster compared to everyone else as the supers run out and the softs hold their life. He and Sir Spud could come into their own in, I'd say, 3 or 4 laps or so, as you can just see there. On the medium tyres, so the hardest available compound, Craig sets the fastest lap in 24.7. So clearly got good pace, he's not being able to show it, unfortunately. Well, he's able to show it through that fastest lap, but not in any battles with other cars, which is a shame. But instead we're going to watch the Renault try and pass this Sauber as we head through Ascari once more. Not quite as close this time is Nicky. We're going to want to just follow with him through Parabolica and then getting on the power nice and early on the exit. He's going to tap into that slipstream as Void's Cod opts to pit. Clearly his tyres were, he was losing too much time in his opinion. His tyres were not in the best of shape and he has come in on lap 8. What tyres is he going to go for? Let's skip down to him. He is in. He is going to go for the medium, so like looking to go at the end, I would imagine. Lap 8 to lap 10 is where you're looking at for a stop onto the mediums. Around lap around lap 11, 12 is where you're going to want to stop on the softs, I think, if you're planning to go onto the mediums, that is. if you plan to go onto supers, you're going to need to until lap sort of 15, 16, which is quite the feat on a qualifying set of soft tyres. So Voidcod rejoins 11.5 seconds up the road from Craig, which is understandable. Craig having to stop early, not being able to make the most of the pace of those softest compounded tyre. Right, going to look up now to Nicky. What is he going to do? I would imagine he's going to come in. He won't want to be undercut. In fact, let's take a look. Core Tactics actually will likely be coming in now. The Saubers coming in together is a likely occurrence. Let's see. Will he come in? He does not. Stays out. Yellow in Sector 3. What has gone on there? Who's in Sector 3? It is Jamie Met. He is spun on the exit of Ascari. He has lost an end plate there. You can see it buried in the wall on the left-hand side, and that is his race down the pan. He's going to need to stop on this lap. Luckily, it's sort of near the pit lane and not too far away from his scheduled stop, but he is going to be stone dead last. As you can see, Craig only 5.5 seconds behind him. That is not what he wanted. Clyde has stopped. He has gone for the medium tyre. But it was soft for a second, but he has gone out on the medium. So he is also looking to go to the end, one would imagine. Looking back up the field, we've still got the Mercedes of Mike. Sir Spud is still out. No Fudge for You on the soft, also still out. Nicky is still going round, as is Core Tactics. He has a green light on his pit board, as you can see there in the right-hand corner. Will he be stopping this lap? One would imagine so. This is generally the recommended pit lap. Yes, and in he comes then. That is Tactics into the pits. As is Nicky, so No Fudge for You inherits the lead then. But Tactics is going for the soft tyres, or the super soft tyres. No, the soft, there we go, right. So Nicky and Tactics both going for the softs. I would imagine that is a two-stop strategy then. No, Nicky has gone for the mediums this game, honestly. As, there you are, there is the difference in the undercut. As Voidcod has pulled a more than 2 second gap over Nicky, and that is crucial for him, because having taken the undercut he has gained time for sure, but the problem is he is going to suffer from tyre wear at the end of the race, I feel. His teammate up the road will is just going to pull away from him on the softer tyre, but likely will have to stop again. His tyre wear didn't seem that great. He's pit on lap 9, not an especially long stint on those supers, so I'll be interested to see just how well he manages with these soft tyres. Let's take a look at the other soft tyre runners. We've got Sir Spud still going round. It's Mike, the final super soft car not to have stopped in this race. You can see from his steering but there's a lot of understeer as you head in parabolic car, and imagine he's going to come in this lap. No, he stays out, so he is almost certainly aiming for a one stop onto the soft tyre. No Fudge for You still out as well. He and Sir Spud on the soft tyre makes more sense for them to stay out. It's less surprising to see them out on track still. Around the Curva Grande he comes. If we look at the intervals, actually Craig now is only 1.1 seconds behind Clyde. So I would imagine he is going to be making a challenge fairly soon. Into the first chicane they come, negotiates that just fine. He's going to get an exit out of there, very smooth. On the Curva Grande, and then it's under the banking as you brake for this chicane. Can't actually remember what it's called. Around the Lesmos they come, not gaining too much time here, possibly for a little bit of dirty air. As it looked like Clyde actually made a mistake on the exit here. Yeah, he ran a little wide, and that has allowed Craig to come within a second. If he can hold that advantage through Ascari and out onto the back straight towards the entry to Parabolica, he will have DRS, but he has actually lost some time. No, there we go. He did actually lose some time in the middle part of Ascari, but managed to bring it back to him. Nofudge and Mike pit. The soft tyre runners will pit and likely go onto a set of mediums. Yeah, Nofudge on the medium there. Mike on the... it says soft, but I don't believe that. There's no fudge. Mike has got out on the soft tyre. Oh, and he almost blocked the Renault. Good heavens. So Mike is going to have to do another stop. He's got long on the soft, so he's now going to go for softs again. That's interesting. But it has not helped Craig in the slightest, because that Mike coming out in front of Clyde not only blocked him as he came into the first chicane, but actually means that that Clyde is going to get DRS from Mike if he can keep up with him for the rest of the lap. And Craig's advantage is going to be reduced somewhat. Plus, he now has no fudge for you in the Force India behind him to contend with, so he's going to possibly think about defending his position as well. So this four-car train now runs sort of from 4th to 8th. Any of the drivers in it really could be challenging for 5th, or not 4th, from 5th to 8th. Clyde is still within DRS range, but not anywhere near as close to Mike as Craig is to him. No fudge is even closer than that, so can Craig tuck into that slipstream, make up any ground at all? It doesn't look like it. He's actually more under threat from the Force India behind him. Looks like this is a bit too far for anyone to be making a move just yet, although Force India has a bit of a weave, possibly thinks about it, or maybe thought he misjudged his braking zone and was looking to take some evasive action. Craig, though, is now 4/10 behind as Mike has pulled away to 1.2 seconds. Broken DRS for Clyde. He is going to come back under attack from Craig the next time around, I think. Still 14 laps to go in this race, so a lot could happen just yet. Doesn't look like a lot is happening at the front at the moment, though. Spud actually still has not stopped. I thought everyone had stopped, but no, Spud's still going, 5.7 seconds ahead of Tactics at the moment, and pulling away. What's happened there? Tactics actually just dropped about two tenths. Around Ascari that was, I think he lost that time. He's still losing time, in fact. Interesting. So Spud clearly not struggling for pace on those warm softs. No fudge has passed Craig and Clyde. Totally missed that. Must have passed them into Ascari. That must have been quite the move. And unfortunately missed that. We're looking at the other cars at the front. And there is a yellow in Sector 3 who has binned it or run on. JB Met is in the wall again. He's missing bits of front wing once more. Clyde chasing Craig. So Clyde lost 2 positions, Craig lost 1 but gained 1, so he's remained 7th, and No Fudge is now up to 6th position. That stop once more. Very impressive, he didn't carry on. There's still 12 laps to go. He has not got anyone left to race, but he is just looking to pick up some points. As No Fudge sets the fastest lap of the race, it is a 24.5. 2/10 quicker than Craig's previous fastest lap, and he is looking to have good pace on those medium tyres. Possibly not as good as the soft tyre runner ahead of him, but the softs will go off, and Mike has to... And Mike does not have to stop again. Because Mike started on the Supers. I was mixed up with the Mercedes then, that's okay. So Mike actually is looking to go to the end. He might have to stop again though, because those softs aren't super durable. They're decent, but they aren't super durable. Although Sir Spud is proving that they can last if you manage them, but he is now dropping quite a lot of time to Tactics, down to 4.5 seconds down the gap. I was just taking a look at the gaps there. Nicky just 7 tenths off the back of Void's Cod, looking to take away that net Sauer 1-2 from those drivers. Nicky will be looking. That is a net second place he's fighting for there with Void's Cod, as Sir Spud is yet to stop. And Tactics has the lead, as he actually gets a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. That's something we haven't really mentioned so far this race. That's the first one I've seen. That's the first penalty I've seen for corner cutting. Which is interesting. It means that actually, if some of these drivers can close within the back of Tactics, he might not have this win after all. Nicky actually dropping a little bit of time to Voice on that lap, and I don't think he's going to have DRS across the detection zone. He does not. I think he's 9 thousandths outside the detection point. He does gain on him through Parabolica though, but I don't. Yeah, it's not enough. And you can see there's no DRS detection bar on his telemetry. Jamie Metz, that's the fastest lap of the race, so 24.299. He is not giving up. He has got that fastest lap on those soft tyres. Not a great deal going on as Jamie Met gets his a penalty himself for corner cutting, but not a great deal going on at the moment. So Spud is still out there, so he's going to be looking to go into the Supers at the end of this race, possibly looking for a last push on those tyres. I mean, he will come out around about 8th, I think he'll come out. So he won't come out in the best of track positions, but if he can make the most out of those super soft tyres, he could make up some places yet. Depending on how the wear on the mediums develops and how well those super softs last, and actually how good his pace, his raw pace on those tyres is. So we'll just have to see. As in he comes then, that is him in the pits. And we're going to look at what he is going on to the supers. Yes, in he comes. Tyres changed by the Mercedes pit crew, and out he heads once more. Yes, there he is, in 8th place, not too far behind Clyde. Doing turns, not too far behind Craig, who is a little way off no fudge, but if he has good pace and he can make his passes quickly, then there's every chance that Sir Spud could be picking up some really, really solid points for Mercedes here. Same for Mike, currently running in 4th. This is a great showing for Mercedes. Currently 4th place in the Constructors' Championship are Mercedes. Haven't had the strongest of showings in the past few races, but a solid points finish will certainly help in their battle with Renault and Toro Rosso for 3rd, 4th and 5th. looking at the gaps once again. Nicky is closing in on Void's Cod. It's right on board. Oh, massive lock-up into the first corner. It's not what he wants. And then a bit of oversteer on exit as well. A lot of short shifting. And that's dropped him time to the car in front. Once again. That's the interesting thing about Monza is while there is lots of slipstream, there are lots of big straights. You need discipline in the braking zones and in the traction zones to make the most of them and make passes. There's a yellow in sector 1. Clyde is dropping positions. He has gone off. He's spun at the first chicane. That's allowed Sir Spud through into 7th place. If you watch back at the battle for second position, we actually saw, as he headed through the second chicane, Void's Cod cutting the second part, so he could be looking at a penalty soon. Oh, as Nicky completely outbrakes himself, gets really caught out there, almost hits the back of the Sauber, takes evasive action, and runs across the green AstroTurf on the inside of the second part of the Scaries. Now 1.2 seconds down, and he's going to have to make up that time once again to try and make a challenge for second and deny Sauber this 1-2 finish here at Monza. Misses the apex for the first corner as well. He's missing his braking points quite a lot now. Sir Spud sets the fastest lap. It's a 23.7. But yeah, you could see that Nicky possibly lacking a little bit of discipline, possibly feeling the pressure of being in a fight for such a high position. He's locking up, missing his apexes. Yeah, you saw it again there, looked like a struggle to actually get the car into the corner. Interested to know what brake balance and brake bias he's running to be suffering lockups like that. I know sometimes the spectator can exaggerate them, but usually when there's a big lockup like that, it means that there has been at least some kind of locking of the tyres. Not a lot else happening. If you look at the intervals, it's not all that close at the moment. We're just going to see if Nicky can make back up that time and challenge for second position. There are 6 laps left in this race. Apologies for the large silent breaks in this. I'm coming down with a bit of a cold, got a bit of a ropey throat at the moment, so I'm going to take slightly long pauses between phrases, which at least in a race where it's not mental action and crashes every lap, got a slightly more mellow event for you. It's still fascinating to see these strategy decisions, though of course looking at the wider variety of tyres we've currently got fitted on the cars. Sir Spud is up to 6th now, Craig down to 8th, he's made another stop, he's onto the supers, didn't even see that had happened. So Craig again not able to make up time, he's not able to make up the positions and take advantage of his title rivals both not being able to score any points here, as Void's Cod runs way out onto that onto the exit of Parabolica and has lost himself, well, just under a second actually now. They get back down to 7/10. Can Nicky take advantage of this now? Hits his braking point much better. Actually, notice there that Nicky hits his braking point much better once he sees another car ahead of him. He's got a marker as such, which actually is an interesting thing you see a lot. Is when drivers have markers, whether they're used to racing on or not, when drivers have markers in front of them like another car, they tend to hit their points better or brake a little bit earlier. And it actually usually helps them to do a little bit better, and of course when they pass the car ahead of them they lose that marker and they drop the pace again and might maybe even get passed by the car they just overtook, who now has the marker. So it's interesting to see how following cars and leading cars, how the driving differs and how it affects each driver. Of course, with these cars very aero-centered, the dirty air comes into effect as well. Voigt's taking big chunks out of the circuit now and runs very wide on exit. Of course, with how aero-dependent these cars are, the dirty air makes a huge difference. You can really see it in the middle sector. Cars that are following closely through the Lesmos and through Ascari understeer a lot. And you can see it there, Parabolica having to use the rear of the car to rotate it around the corner. As Voigt's had to use a lot of steering lock, was understeering, and Nicky has had a much better run through there. Isn't gaining much in a straight line though. He brakes late. Craig gets a 3-second time penalty. Nicky does not go for the pass just yet. He has 4 laps remaining at the end of this one. And he is going to be wanting to make a pass pretty soon. I feel like Voigt's tyres are going to start giving up soon. He pit quite early in comparison to Nicky, so we can see his wear and speed really start to deteriorate. As the final stage of this race approaches, I'm going to take a quick look at the race director. Hope nothing major happens while I'm looking at it, to look at penalties. So it's 2 warnings for Nicky at the moment. Voigt's has a penalty and 1 warning, so he is looking at, even if he does not get past, he could be looking at losing the position to Nicky just through penalties, providing Nicky does not get another warning. Of course, anything can happen in these final few laps of this Monza circuit. Voigt has actually pulled out to beyond the DRS zone once again. And as they cross the detection line at the entry to Parabolica, he was ahead despite the gap now being sub 1 second, as Jamie Met unfortunately gets the 5-second stop go, speeding in the pit lane as he pits once more. Oh, big amount of curb. Excuse me, a big amount of curb taken by Nicky in the first chicane, and he lost a little bit of time there. Jamie Met's pit once more onto a set of supers, probably go fastest lap, likely then retire over the moment. Through the second chicane they come. Nicky doesn't necessarily do that badly, but Voigt seems to have it pretty nailed. He's gained a couple of tenths there alone. She loses them again in the second Lesmo. Some of this timing is weird. The gap's taking about 1.1 to 1 second flat at the moment. I think it's going to take an almighty push from Nicky or a mistake from Voigt again to cause a change in position. It looks like these guys are pretty evenly matched, but Voigt maybe lacking the consistency, but Nicky also lacking the discipline. As we can see, he was missing braking points, locking up, missing apexes, and that is probably what's hurt him most. I think if he hadn't lost that time with those errors, he could be past the Sauber now. Of course, that's all theorising. Through, he locks up, see, you can see big lockups there. He's actually gained a little bit of time on Voigt's though, so it's not all bad for him. You can actually see he follows Voigt's lines. He's trying to pick up every bit of distant toe he can. Voigt takes a lot of curb. He's really pushing the limits now. He has got that penalty, of course. He's actually probably pushing, trying to break out 3 seconds, providing Nicky doesn't get a penalty. I imagine that's what Nicky is focusing on as well, is if you can't pass him, just don't get any warnings and you'll have the position. Through Ascari. Drops a little bit of time there. The gap now the gap now 7 tenths. So actually didn't lose much time through there. I was looking down at No Fudge and Mike battling now the gap 1.2 seconds, so changes from 4th and 5th. Could be a foot yet. Here we go, Nicky now only half a second behind, but he's got, well, I mean, a lap to go at the end of this one. We're now on lap 26. Oh, that's a late braking zone there, but he's actually managed to hit the apex. He's closed lots of wheel spin on the exit of that chicane. That's losing him time, and as he short shifts, possibly a little bit too early. Engine bogs down, Voigtskod trying to take the shortest line around that corner possible. Touches the inside grass. Jamie Metz has the fastest lap, 23.5. Oh, as he loses the rear end, and that has lost him a lot of time too. Voigtskod loses half a second just in that one section. As you can see, Voigtskod using the straddle the orange curb strategy, which is to effectively cut the corner. You usually don't get a warning for it, but if you just get it just right, you can straddle the orange curb, take a really nice smooth line through the corner and not suffer for it. Sadly, Nicky was unable to do that, instead lost the rear end as he exited the first section. Voigtskod though takes a little bit too much speed through Ascari, runs wide, loses the rear end attachment. He's lost all that time once again to Nicky, who I think is going to make a move into this first chicane. If he can just get the exit out of there, he's going to tuck into the slipstream. I'm actually going to be using all of the available fuel he's got left. He's not really close enough, 4/10 away. He's got the flashing fuel lights. He's only got a lap of fuel. Oh, he comes incredibly close to the back of the Sauber, and that is it. That is the battle for second place. Pretty much over unless Voigtskod throws it up the road. Nicky braked far too late there and has lost all of the time he had made up. His challenge for second is over. He won't have a chance to pass into Ascari or indeed into Parabolica. It looks like the Sauber 1-2 is on. However, I think Nicky is still without penalty, so Voigtskod should actually be demoted to third place, with Nicky up to second thanks to the penalties, denying Sauber that 1-2. Into Ascari they come for the final time. Let's actually look back. No Fudge is now just over a second behind Mike, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to make any time up. Unless, of course, penalties come into play here. No Fudge ran a decent strategy today, but there you are. Tactics has won the race by 4 seconds from Voigtskod, but who does get demoted to third thanks to Nicky's lack of penalties. Craig gets another 3-second penalty. It's Mike in fourth, No Fudge in fifth, Sir Spud will be sixth. It's Clyde in seventh, Craig in eighth. He laps Jamie Met there. Jamie Met backing out just so he doesn't have to do an extra lap of the circuit. Craig though doesn't look like he's going to be able to get anything better than eighth, sorry, today. Yes, his penalties mean he has too many to pass the car ahead of him, and sadly once again the McLaren driver unable to capitalise on his rival's misfortune. So I'll just have the podium celebration for the top 3 drivers. So there you are, that is Tactics with the win for Sauber. It is Nicky in second for Renault, and it's a double Sauber podium with Voigtskod in third position. Very well done to all 3 of those drivers. A great drive from all 3 of them. Very tense, very close. Nicky gave it his all to pass the Sauber on track, but in the end he didn't need to. And there you go, it is Tactics for Sauber wins. Nicky is second for Renault. It is Voigtskod in third. It is Mike in fourth. A great drive from him, 9th to 4th place. It's No Fudge in the Force India. Then Sir Spud is 6th from 11th on the grid. Another good drive. Both Mercedes with good drives today. It's Clyde in 7th for this in the second Renault. It's then Craig in 8th. Disappointing for him, having to make 2 stops, falling quite a way down the field. But he does pick up fastest lap with the 23.566. It's then Jamie Met in 9th as the final finisher, a lap down, and then it's not Kimi Raikkonen. It was Notorious LIP who was the second retiree, and Dan Gimmer 99 was the first retiree in Force India. He runs out to the tables. So there you have it, guys. That was the Invictus Racing League F2 Italian Grand Prix round 8 from Monza. I have been your commentator, H Racing Green. I sadly don't have time for the interviews once more. Hope to do those in a future race once again, but right now I'm unable. But once again, thank you for watching, and until next time, I'll see you next week. Good night.